you see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slides. It's perfect.
Without other technical stuff with the next slide, timer, blah, blah, blah. You cannot see this, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, great.
It's just slides.
Perfect. So this Coding Club, our initiative to familiar you with the Python, and probably you have previous experience with Python, and this Coding Club, we decided to start with very basics, and it helped me to understand, do you have previous experience with the Python or any other programming language? And as in my presentation mode, I cannot see our participants, but I can hear you, and you can give me some voice signal.
Yeah, we can do the next. Could you please raise your hand if you already ever tried to work with Python? Okay, we have me, Angelica. We are admitting Sam right now. Okay. Vivian.
So.
Yeah, okay, so we have few people. Hi, Sam. We are asking right now if you have to raise hand for everyone who had experience with Python, who ever, anyway, ever tried Python.
So this is really a basic introduction, and if you have any experience, I'm sure you already know all the things. So this is great to define our level and adjust to the group, and probably today you just brush up your knowledge about the hello world, but sometimes it's could be useful, maybe. Okay, let's start with the next slide. And as Irina told before, we decided to start Coding Club as one more activity. And me personally, I find it really helpful to have the group for level up my coding skills, because it's hard to motivate myself to do it alone. That is why this Coding Club we will start from the basics, and the next step will be the lead code, and also we can refresh the theory here, because the for lead code you can use some methods or classes or any constructions, and on the Coding Club we can repeat this theory about lists, dictionaries, and so on. So this first session, this is beginner session. This is 1 hour, and I would like to tell you about the Python as a language and his main features, and offer you to do a couple of exercises for warm up in the terminal or shell if you have Windows. So nothing complicated today. And you can see here that we have point setup and Python installation. And I put a link with the ID if you would like to work in ID. But for this particular lesson, you don't need something more than already installed Python on your laptop. And we don't need any dependencies of some operation systems or IDE or some Jupyter notebook. You can use whatever you want. And most of this lesson will be write scripts, and after next lessons will be about reading and writing from the files. And probably you can choose the environment which will be more convenient for you for working with the files. And also, oops, I can see one hand raised here. Probably there's some jet lag. Okay. Now I'm trying to come. Great. This was just switch between slides. And also, probably we should start here. So I think many of you know what is Python. This is not the snake. Here, the Python was called from the Monty Python circus, and Python is an interpreted high-level programming language. This is like a wrapper on the C compiler. This is interpreted language, so it's often classified as a scripting language and considered similar to languages like Perl or Ruby. And syntax of Python inspired by elements of C programming. Python was created by famous Guido van Rossum around 90s last century, and he chose this name because his favorite TV show was Monty Python Circus. I can hear the sound. And do we have any raised hands?
No, I just put link to
Mm-hmm.
um, all our community links.
Mm-hmm.
Link tree. Yeah, and I think maybe I will share what is Monty Python show
Mm-hmm.
because for me it looked like very curious story. And as I guess, like he just built Python upon one more language, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was one more language. It was simpler than C, and he started to put some abstraction, some more abstraction to make it handful. And then he started to work more and more. And then he open sourced it, and other people started to put there more and more. So it's emerged as a lot like open source project, the whole language.
Mm-hmm. And they also, the Guido van Rossum, probably he named himself like Benevolent Dictator, and they have some idea uh, over the Python, and also there are some syntax conduction, this PEP 8 conduct, code of conduct, it seems to me, about the rules, how you should write the structure code, what intentions you should use, and how your syntax will be easy and pretty. And I find this pretty good to follow this. And where you can find the Python. So you can have many environments where you can write Python, but I think in most of the cases you already have the Python installed in your machine, and you could try to check the version if you run your terminal or shell if you have Windows, and if you just type Python there and press enter, you will have the information about your Python version. For this course, used Python higher than 3.6, and I think today is really uncommon to meet Python 2 somewhere. Probably if you have a lot of legacy in your corporation, some chunks of code on Python 2 can be there, but the switch to the Python 3 branch was rather a long time ago, and I think you will not have any problems because it's less probable that you have Python 2 on your laptop. And also, you can do everything in IDE, or you can type your programs as a TXT files, and after save it with extension, this more like hacker mode. And probably for those who just started programming, this will be more useful to try to type a lot of things by hands and see how it works. But you could choose whatever you want here. And what we can start right now. So without any prior knowledge of programming, you can start use Python as calculator from your command line. And also here the really funny exercise about some stocks and shares, but anyway, this is just arithmetics. And you can see here some screens how the syntaxes looks like for this math. And also Python have this function like underscore. This is the last saved value. And you can use this underscore when you work with a terminal or Python terminal, but when you do the script, this will not work here. And the really useful things which Python has, this is the good documentation, the best documentation and the best error messages I ever heard and ever seen. So if you don't know how to work this function or what attributes this object has, any time you can you can run help command and your object and presets, and to receive the information which will be retrieved from the documentation. And you can use it with mathematical functions, with the objects. Probably this will not work for basic Python statements such as for, while, and other things. But if you just put it as a string um, in commas, Python will find it as a text topic and return your documentation. And also, I I want to put link here to Docs Python, or I send the link to documentation in the chat. I never use the documentation from the site, but from the help functions a lot times. So what you can also do during this course, you can try to type everything by your hands, or you can do copy paste, and we will have some simple exercises which we will offer you to run on your laptop. This will be easy, and this will be no any homeworks, just during the lesson. And you can if you with a Python for the first time, so I would recommend this slow approach when you try to type things and retype the code you see on the screen. And here probably you will get a better feel for the language by slowing down and thinking about what you are doing right now. And this is the really habit for much more complicated code. But if you are pretty familiar with this, of course, you can use copy paste. And uh, with the syntaxes, can you see my cursor or not?
We don't see the cursor.
Okay, so these three small brackets which started the line, and if you need to copy paste something, just start to crop it without these technical symbols. And to get the code to run, you may have to hit return, even if you already passed the chunk of the code. And go further. So, and right now, I wanted to offer you to try your terminals. As you can see here, I tried today. It works for me. That's really great to know because I wasn't programming on Python in command line several years, but this I offer you to run your terminal and try and see the output of these three commands. So what you will need to do, you will need to run Python 3 without any spaces, just Python and 3, and you will see the Python console after. And when you will type the print hello world, I want you to do this, and after some simple math, and after to see how it will return the small loop here. These Python programs, they are always run as an interpreter, and this interpreter normally runs for the common shell, and Python script running line by line, and interactive mode when you use that programming in Python. In Python console, you have interactive mode where you can experiment, and when you will run some commands, and they will run immediately. They have now some edit, compile, run, debug style, and it calls read eval print loop, and really easy for debugging and exploration. Okay, so right now I wanted to see the how I wanted to figure out how to come back to the call and to see you, because I want to see some reactions if you are able to run this code or not. Okay, not it's doesn't work like this, and
Yeah, if you remove
mhm,
presentation and
mhm,
then you see everyone. Okay,
mhm.
um,
I will do
let's yeah,
again.
let's maybe raise a hand for everyone who could
Yeah.
do this small exercises. I personally joined you and I did it in my command line. Indeed, very simple. The only thing for a loop who in range, print I, as I put in the chat, I need to put indentation. Without
Mhm,
tabulation, it wouldn't work.
mhm.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, Sophie, thank you for supporting us. Angelica, super. If you also have any troubles, just let us know. We can help. Um, yeah, if you don't have Python, I think you can also use pip command and install it. Like, I can guess that if you have new Linux or OS just installed on your
Mhm.
laptop, you might not have it under the hood. But I think for Microsoft, for Mac, they have it already because they needed to install some packages. That's how popular it became. It's already on your machine. That wasn't like this 10 years ago.
I remember I installed even Python 3 because I have only Python 2 on my laptop, and it was 2015.
Yeah. I was really confused for Python because I didn't know how to deal with the things that you actually have the second version and so many things right now written in the second version, but that's deprecated. The whole language already switched to the third version. So I felt quite happy that I became Java.
Mhm. And thanks to these Python branches, I became much more experienced in virtual environments, because I will need one for some research tasks for the newer Panda version, one for the test, my production code, and one for support the old legacy code.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we are ready, let's go to the some Python features. So simple words about this, how Python create the program. Right now we run something in console, but any Python file have the extension py and can be created as a simple text file in text editor if you're hacker, or probably in ED, and it has really simple syntaxes line by line, and you can create your script and save it with extension, and if you after run it, it will be recognized like a Python file and will be executed. And to execute this file, you just type the name of the file in your command line in terminal, and it will be working. The left part, this is how it could like in Unix, and the right one, this is how it will be on the Windows. And other moments of Python. So statements. Python program, this is the sequence on statements. It's read and executed line by line. And this is really much more easy and human readable. Comments. In every Python file, you can do these comments with any additions to your code. This is really useful with the production. And right now, when we are in the ChatGPT era, these comments can be added by Copilot, which is also really great. And comments help also to have the description before the file or before there's some function, and this generate the documentation automatically after, which is really useful if you working on some open source project or contribute to some Git and you need to have your documentation for your new methods. Variables in Python, they have a really great feature. You don't need to define a variable before you started to use it. This is different from C and C++, but also it's recommended to define variable before, especially if you need some certain type, because the Python, this is the dynamically typed language, so it's defined type of the variable by this rule. If it's quacking, this is a duck. So when this variable do something, the Python trying to allocate the proper type for this variable, but not every time your ideas about this variable will be aligned with the Python. So if you wanted to be sure that this is certain type, you can do it. You can define your variable before. The variables can start with a letter and with the underscore, and also you can put any numbers except of the first symbol. Types, as I mentioned before, when Python see the whole number, it will consider it as like integer. If it has the point and float number, it will be considered like a float number, and with the text, it will work like it with like a text. But as I'm a data engineer, my main point that sometimes the numbers we can receive numbers as a text, and we need to cast the types, and that is why be really careful when you parse some CSV files or when you parse any files which you receive from something where you are not sure what data type was sent to you. And case sensitivity. Python is a case sensitive. It recognizes lower and uppercase like different letters, and that is why for Python this will be the different name and name, 3 different variables. And also all functions started with a small with a lowercase, and here it's not so flexible like SQL. If you use some service words, every time it should be in lowercase. Also, Python, as in every programming language, has some loops, and the while statement executed in the loops, and these loops will be executed until the while is true. So indentation, as we So on previous example, when you use some loop, you should consider the sublayers and subloops here, or some other executable code, and the indentation here. This is 4 spaces, and if you work in the console or writing in the text file, not in the ED, just be sure that you use spaces, because they can use other symbols for tab. But if you use ED, everything should be fine there. And this indentation used to denote groups or statements that executed together. And also they have conditions. And as you can see here, the condition also have their indentation. These 4 symbols in any function, in any type, in any case of operations. And statements, you can put many multiple conditions there, and if, elif, and last one will be else. As you can also try the printing, you can do through Hello World, and you can print some texts, and you can print some variables, and you can print the combination between the text and variables. And every time, if you need to start with a new line, you will just use the next print sentence. And user input. Also, Python allow to user input from the console, and for this, use input function and the print command, like interactive mode. It will open the console line, which is available for typing. And input prints a prompt to the user and return response, and it can be useful in small programs and learning exercises, small debugging, and especially sometimes it can be used in some take-home tasks or lead code programs. So when you need to demonstrate some programs which use input and output, and it's not widely used in real programs. Pass statement. Pass statement you will use when you need to specify an empty code block in some conditions, or probably when you have just come back from the loop, or just skip this part, depends on the previous condition. And it does nothing, it's just a placeholder. And right now, this will be the exercise. I wanted us to do it in console, and I have 2 versions of this exercise. And here, it's really looks like a typical, not algorithmic, but probably typical programming, simple task. Now we see we need to write a program which will calculate this height, and this is the ball which is dropped from height, and it has the first 10 bounces, and we should return the height on after every bounce. So we can do it in our Python console. For this, right now I'm trying to figure out how. Can you see my presentation still with the exercise?
Mm. We see
Uh-huh.
we see the slide and
Uh-huh.
what is under the hood of the
Uh-huh.
slide.
And right now, can you see the slide? Right?
Only slide. Yeah, right
Mm.
now only slide.
And now, I just wanted to see my terminal. Okay. So, I wanted to share my terminal here, yeah, because this
You can try share window, and window should
Mm-hmm.
be the terminal window.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So right now, I want to do this one, and I wanted to do this one, and it's not the ChatGPT, but I wanted to show you ChatGPT, of course. And right now, can my yeah. Oh, you can see my terminal right now, right? Uh-huh.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
I want to run my Python 3. So this is my console. And any ideas what I need to do first?
Can you print in the chat the
Yeah, because
conditions
you
again?
cannot see. Uh-huh. And now, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, yay. Uh-huh. Can you see one window or both of mine?
No, only one. I think
Only
it's
one.
possible to do only one at a time.
Okay. This naughty Google. Oh, probably I have just 2 monitors. Maybe I should have 4. Okay, so this is our chat and uh-huh. Can you see it in the chat? Yeah,
Yeah.
and I started to share in my terminal. Terminal. Do you want to
Okay.
come back? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So right now, you, me, terminal, and our task. So I think I would like to start from what? From initial height.
Yeah, initial height, I
Mhm.
think so.
And I want to define this variable. And this is my first variable. After I wanted to have this bounce factor, which is 3 of 5.
3, 5, yeah.
And I will need to do this one as well. And right now for Python, this slash, he interpreted as a divider. So right now I can just do it here. And I need the first 10 bounces. So right now we have all 3 variables. Can I do copy paste? Yeah, of course. I wanted to show that we have everything there because the console's so great. Everything fine. And right after, I wanted to have, I wanted to set up, before my loop, I wanted to set up the current height as the initial height. Because I will update this on every loop. And after I wanted to have the loop, so loop looks, oh, that's great. I have the, and the loop looks like any other loop. If you will have other languages, the first will be for. E is index, and after this common this function range generate the array of sequence of numbers, and it by default started from 1, and we wanted to have it with a number of bounces plus 1, because range doesn't include the last element. So in every time when you will use with the length of the array or other things, bear in mind to count this plus one element. And after, I do the Control Shift to appear on the next line. And right now my 4 spaces. And here I want to update current height. So obviously it will be done like current height multiply on the bounce factor. And also Python have this great feature when you use when you update one variable, you can use the syntax, Python specific syntax for this, and it can be done with multiply, plus, minus, or probably division. So it will be look like this one. So this syntax means exactly that you just update the same variable. And 1, 2, 3, 4, we wanted to have to see current height. And we include this print inside the loop. And I think we wanted to see this one. So this will be current height on every bounce. So how it can be done not so simple. You can store these numbers to the array. So on every step, you can append a new element to array and after print the really nice and tidy array. But as we don't want to overcomplicated things, and we decided to start with the very beginning to comfort everyone here. So this done easy and plain, and you don't need any ID, but you already a programmer. So for these my first exercises and my slides is over, and let's have a talk and questions and maybe some ideas for the next coding club.
Oh, super. I think you can stop sharing your slide so we can see everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Do we always use range in Python, or there is a function that has including border?
This is a really great question because for me, I every time use range, but I remember that it also depends of the. I want to show you one things which I use for education, and this is my favorite one. I love it so much. It's the Perplexity AI. Probably you use this one. It's have much more easy interface than ChatGPT. And when I need something about the programming, but with the sources, I can ask Perplexity and what, for example, what most common in Python range or range or other loops, loop lengths, and yeah, we can use any. Yeah, if we need, this is the second one, things that if I need to have the item of the array and the index of this item, there are function enumerate, and this enumerate iterate through the list and returns not only the item as an index as well, because in this for e in range it will return only items. And also today I played with the ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to wrote the same exercise as we did right now, and ChatGPT returned me script in Python with a definition of classes and methods in a really C++ and Java style, and it was looked so great. But I asked him to make the things simpler. So if you will use ChatGPT for generating some scripts, bear in mind that some case it can use the really open style, and you can try to ask ChatGPT to do it in different modes. So probably more simpler, probably more complicated. But anyway, when you learn some things, you can use, of course, ChatGPT. When you do some code on your everyday job, especially if this is the production code, don't believe in ChatGPT.
Yeah, I also found I followed Perplexity AI. Thanks a lot for sharing. I may start it didn't ask me to register there and started to answer my questions. It's told me that I can use inclusive range from inclusive range from some model, which is models model, but it didn't work when I tried to do this. Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's also when I told them it didn't work, it told me, okay, create your own inclusive range. That's it. Yeah, I can show. By the way, it's funny and it's so easy to create your own
Mm-hmm.
one. This one.
So, range edges.
Yeah, I put in the chat. I
Mm-hmm.
tasting right now if it will work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I see
Okay.
that inclusive range is more iter tools. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love how it looks in Python. This is the this in bracket. This is the list generator, and I love how it's easy to read. And this last one got will it return the same result, right? Let's see. I will try in my compiler. So we need the initial height, which is and number of bounds is here. And I wanted to see print. Just, yeah, we have here the same.
Nice. Good
Great.
job. It also worked for me.
Mm.
Yeah, but if you come to the interview, follow example of Nonna, try to put their all explicit names, so it will be much better.
Mhm. And also to make the results more tidy, we can use the as my where's my call? Let me find it. We can use the round function, and by default, this round one seems to me it rounded up to 4 digits. Let me check round function and Python to mm, how many digits we have. Ah, why I ask in perplexity is if I have the great help function, which I was so promoted here.
Mhm.
Yeah, round and digits on. Okay. And sometimes I saw while why I'm remember about this in some interviews, I saw this lead code tasks, which is return the result rounded by this number of digits. Provide some exercises. I think we would. It's not so easy to find this simple exercise, but I think I can generate something. Probably I will need some time for this. Maybe tomorrow we can send it. And also, anyway, if we have more experience with the Python, next session we can do more high level and trying to probably started something looks like lead code, but with a theory uh, about the Python objects used there. What is list? What is mutable? Mutable types, and so on. To give more into details. Irina, you on mute? Seems me you on mute, not?
Yes, yes. Okay. Thanks a lot for coming. I shared engagement form for survey in the channel. It's very simple form. I just ask you like how clear was it, and if you have anything to add, you can add. And also, if you would like to be contacted with exercises, please share your email. For example, yeah, we haven't yet created any channels
Mm-hmm,
in our Slack, but I think we will create a channel, so
mm-hmm.
we also will share there. Yeah, yeah. So let's stay connected, and we will. Yeah, I think we can start some coordination in this channel during this month. Share exercises, share how it goes. For me, it was super comfortable to start this Python. Like I was thinking about myself. Let's pretend I never even tried, and it was really nice. It was really nice. So yeah. Also, if I can ask you, all our participants, to open your camera just for a second, and we will do headshot for everyone who joined us today evening and stayed here all this time. We do with screenshots. Yeah, we do with screenshots. Actually, we did them in the beginning, but today we started straightforward. And I saw that people joined a bit later, so I think it's fine. Oh, okay. So thanks, Angelica. Vivian. Sophia, would you show us? Um,
Sorry, not possible at the moment.
she's so shy.
About that.
Come to our in-person events to see Sophia. She's always there. Okay, thanks a lot for opening. 1, 2, 3, smile. Super, thanks a lot. Cool. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, from my side, thanks a lot again for joining. Please fill the forum. And yeah, Nonna, would you like to say some final words?
Yeah, for me, thanks for your attention. And also in this channel, you can give us any your requests, what you wanted to cover or what you wanted to look deeper in the Python, or probably you have some question where the Python is more requires and what other things, because I know that, for example, in backend, the Python is more hardcore programming style, but in data analytics, it's just research style. You shouldn't do the really great code, but creativity always welcome there. So this is a really many different types of Python implementation which we can discuss, because ML have really great, and also sometimes the analysts use this battle between R and Python, and this is also really nice to discuss what the differences and how they work together and where you should choose some of them. So yeah, send your ideas, send your feedback, and we will try to figure out the best shape of this course according to our group.
Yeah, I just created the channel and I called it Prop Coding Club Python. I think that's nice. Like if you will in 1 year, for example, decide to go with another language, it will be language for another. Just for another coding. It will be the same coding club for another language. But right now, as we started this club with Python, let's go with Prop Coding Club Python. Okay, thanks a lot again. See you there.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.